French, but shalom and greetings to you all. We're at the Rosh Chodesh, or new month of Elul, the month of Virgo, the month to seek healing before the days of awe. It is the 12th month of the civil year and the 6th month of the spiritual year. So any way you look at it, we're at a focal point, either of how you count dates or where you stand spiritually on the annual pendulum of choice in the scheme of things. Now, because of that, it's a month of review, of stock taking, a month of healing. One of the rare months without a technical holiday in it. And for any of you getting married, it's considered the month of the bride. Now, I thought every month was the month of the bride. Friends, if you have not done it yet, it is a month to take a really good look at yourself. With the eyes of a child, please come out and see that your world's spinning round, and through life you will be a small part of a whole, of a love that exists in the eyes of a child you will see. Now, whether we see through innocent eyes or worldly eyes, we may go through the entire year without seeing ourselves, without seeing what we do or say, without seeing how we treat others, without seeing the people in our lives who may be asking for help, without seeing the world we live in, or without seeing the love that's actually there. I've been thinking about our fortune. I've decided that we're really not to blame for the love that's inside of us now. It's still the same, and the sounds we make together is the music to the story of your eyes. It's been shining down upon me now. I realize you have a month to really begin the process of looking within. And this week, we have our being able to see our choices in the continuing story of blessings and curses that Moses is laying out for the people on the banks of the Jordan. And aren't blessings and curses still the things that rule our current lives? You bet they are. Now, this week we have kind of like this Reader's Digest-like summary of key holidays and a list of clean and unclean foods. And that's a term that emphasizes this old theme that's throughout the entire Bible, this theme of separation and division. Well, the people took a vow to uphold the covenant. Vows, as we know, are sacred. Keep them and be blessed. Break them. And, these eyes cry every night for you. These arms long to hold you again. The hurting is on me. I will never be free. You gave a promise to me and you broke it. These eyes watch you bring my world to an end. This heart could not accept and pretend. The hurting is on me. I will never be free. You took a vow with me when you spoke it. Vows. Now, let me take a vow. Not to separate and divide, but to call together our like-minded group with our newest member, my dear old friend, Rabbi Americo. Beautiful soul, a great teacher who lives in Portugal. He loves our group, our work, our inclusiveness. When we all gather, the collective consciousness of spirit seekers who come together in the showing of faith, of love as a community, a chavura, a fellowship. When we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes, that unites us all in this community house of spirit that goes the world over. Beth Ruach. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody you know, physically, psychically, emotionally, spiritually. Let's all gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Come together. Hine Matov. Shevet Achi Gam Yad. Hine Matov. Shevet Achi Gam Yad. How good and how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community community. Together. So as a community, let us all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship the world over, my friends. And do not forget to give thanks for the things that we have. Be a little bit more grateful. As we light our candles, share a cup of wine, a piece of bread, the tools of life and sustenance and fellowship that we observe daily, but especially Friday with our Sabbath remembrance and observation. Let's also take a moment and pray for healing and renewal for the souls of everybody we know. So think of whoever that needs healing, renewal, love, or just goodwill. Just focus on them. Call their name. It's not just for people. It's for our pets. It's for the earth. It is the healing of the earth. And we're in the month of healing. The Tikkun Olam, that's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. For poor Bella and her soul. For Javier. For Julie. For Bob. For Arve. For Ben. For the one and only dear sweet bee. And of course, make sure you include yourself. You need renewal too, my friends. It is the kindness, healing wishes, goodwill, and love that we all send out that circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each and every one of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is a world of spirit. And spirit never dies. Avotenu Makor HaBracha Limotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage, make our lives a blessing, the renewal of the body, the renewal of spirit. And I say, Amen. Mishabera, let us all have our spirits renewed the world over. It is a prayer for healing, which we call upon God to heal as he has healed before. And that is what Mishaberach means. May he who blessed. This is the month of blessing, of healing. So let us all heal before we face the judgment of self. Now remember, friends, this is just you setting aside a little bit of your own sacred time in your own little private sacred space to talk to whoever, whatever you happen to believe in. It's a part of your intention, your kavanah, your goodwill being imprinted on the universe. Now, this week, we read Re'eh, see, Deuteronomy 11:26. See, I set before you today blessing and curse. The blessing when you heed the command of the Lord your God, with which I charge you today. The curse if you heed not the command of the Lord your God and swear from the way that I charge you today. It's pretty simple. Heed the command, bless. Don't heed it, curse. And just so that nobody misses this, Moses is going to post them. I shall set the blessing on Mount Gerizim and the curse on Mount Ebal. Now, there's no internet, there's no post-its, there's nothing like that. So he's going to post them by having them carved in these giant stelae from the ancient times. And we have them. We don't have these particular ones, but we do have. Now, Gerizim is on the favored right hand and Ebal on the suspect left. Gerizim is covered with vegetation. Ebal is desolate. One represents good, one represents evil. And of course, the book of Deuteronomy is set in the valley of these two mountains because the book repeatedly stresses this forking alternative of prosperity and disaster, good and bad, life and death, depending on Israel's faithfulness to God's laws. And of course, depending on the choices that you happen to make in life. Now, it's very much seen as a bipolar world. It's either or. And we continue to live our lives in a bipolar either-or world. And this is a book about choice and how you see the choices that you make. You'll be told later to choose love and life, and they go together, or evil and death, and they are put together. And I know you will all choose love and life, and you'll all see things differently once you do. If you let me take your heart, I will prove to you we will never be apart. If I'm part of you, open up your eyes now. Tell me what you see. It is no surprise now. What you see is me. Well, this particular parsha contains like a holiday list, like I said, and it's covered in Deuteronomy 16. And it really offers nothing other than a quick summary of the big three holidays: Passover, Shavuot, referred to here as the coming after 7 weeks, Shavuot, and the festival of Huts, Sukkot. The gathering festivals, the big three. Now, they were the ones which required attendance. They're listed, but their details are scant. There's nothing actually told about them. And we then get have our list of foods. And the list of foods is broken down into clean and unclean foods, pure and impure. Okay? And again, we're told what we can eat, but not why. And that, my friends, has spawned quite the industry because people aren't 100% sure. Deuteronomy 14:3. You shall eat no abhorrent thing. Hey, I still feel that way. I don't want to eat abhorrent things. I don't want to eat things that I think are abhorrent that other people think are normal. These are the beasts that you may eat: ox, lamb of sheep and lamb of goat, gazelle and deer and roebuck, bison, antelope, mountain sheep. Now, that's basically a big list of game food. And every beast that has hooves split in two, bringing up the cud. Among beasts, it you may eat. But this you shall not eat from those that bring up the cud or of a split hoof: the camel and the rock badger and the hare, for they bring up the cud, but they have no hoof. They are unclean for you. And of course, pigs are unclean too. So there's your basic land animals menu. Now, this you may eat of all that's in the water. Whatever has fins and scales you may eat, and whatever has no fins and scales you shall not eat. It is unclean for you. Now, that one is really easy. It's basic. It's simple, right? Scales and fins. So there's earth and water. Then next we get, of course, air. Every clean bird you may eat, and this you shall not eat of them: the eagle and the vulture, the black vulture, the kite, the falcon, the buzzard, according to its kind, and every raven according to its kind, and the ostrich and the nighthawk, the seagull and the hawk according to its kind, the horned owl, the puff owl, the hoot owl, the pelican, the fishhawk, and the cormorant, and the stork and the heron according to its kind, and the hoopoe and the bat, and every swarming thing among winged creatures is unclean for you. Now, we've been warned of swarming things throughout all of Exodus. We must still be wary of the swarming things around us, my friend, the mob. Now, most of the English equivalents that I read are simply approximations. But with the birds, no one actually really knows precisely what they are. But you can tell there's this genuine revulsion about consuming land animals or birds that are predators or scavengers. The creatures you eat cannot be carnivores. They have a different energy. Now, what I want you to notice here is this huge theme of separation again, and not just within the categories of clean and unclean foods. The dietary restrictions are part of a program for separating Israel from the surrounding peoples. Okay. And mentioned for the third time in the Torah, but only the first time linked to food, we get the famous, "You shall not boil a kid in its mother's milk." Now, that's a statement that was originally designed to ensure ethics, morality, and the continuity of a species, but it has been taken from this point on to mean you do not mix milk with meat. Now, friends, the kashrut rules, they're difficult, they're obscure, they're rabbinic in nature and design. They're very confusing to most people, but if you stick to the basic principles given, they can be followed fairly easily. Just don't ask why, because the answer is one of those because without really saying why. Now, if you want to be kosher, stick to the basic rules. If you don't ask anybody why. Okay. But what I really want to also take another look at is this week's title, See, which is kind of the theme of this month, to see ourselves and others. And we learn more about seeing in this than we do about the holidays or about the foods. Okay, so it's all about see. I'm looking through you. Where did you go? I thought I knew you. What did I know? You don't look different, but you changed. Looking through you, you're not the same. Now, is it that they're not the same, or we're not the same? How do we see? Now, we learned it was with light, and rods and cones, and reverse images, but that tells us the process of how our vision comes from outside through our optic nerve. What we actually see, my friends, comes from inside, from how we feel, how we interpret. Two people can look at a beautiful sunrise. One can love it, one can hate it. It is the same sight, but how we are inside is different. And so how we see is always going to be different too. Well, I thought that the rain would cool things down, but it looks like it don't. I'd like to get you to change your mind, but it looks like you won't. From now on, I'll be busy. Ain't going nowhere fast. I'm just glad it's over, seeing the real you at last. How we see and what we see. Well, that connects to the happiness work that we've all been examining these last few weeks. And speaking of seeing, I'm going to see Aladdin again. I've actually seen it twice, but I love it. I'm not talking about the cartoon, I'm talking about the Broadway play. Although I love the cartoon too. So when the opportunity to go came up again, I was quite excited. I thought about, the wishes that we would make if we had a genie. Who doesn't think about that? And tales of genies do exist in the Talmud. They go back past the times of King Solomon. But I'm thinking of the Disney genie. And I was reminded of the story of a regular guy who found himself lucky enough to have a genie who was willing to grant him not 3, but 4 wishes. So he says to the genie, I wish I was rich. Who doesn't ask that? And the genie snapped his fingers, and there was this poof, and the genie said, it is done. Well, the fellow looks at himself. He says, nothing's changed. Well, the genie looks at him and said, I simply made things more affordable. The fellow then looked at himself, said to the genie, I wish I was beautiful. And again, who doesn't wish that? And the genie snapped his fingers, poof, it is done. But once again, the fellow takes a look, and he says, nothing's changed. The genie said, I simply changed the standard of beauty. Well, the fellow looks at the genie. He says, okay, I wish I was happy with myself. Hey, 3 wishes we all could make. Once again, the genie snaps his fingers. Poof, it is done. The fellow thought for a second. He says, nothing's changed. And the genie replied, I simply lowered your standards. Well, the fellow then said, well, genie, I got one more wish. I wish I was worthy of love. Hey, 4 wishes we all would make. And once again, the genie snapped his fingers. Poof, it is done. Once again, the fellow took stock of himself and he says, nothing's changed. And the genie replied, correct. Nothing had changed, my friends. He was always worthy of love. He just did not see. Friends, you're worthy of love. You were happy. You were beautiful. You were rich. You were all the things you wish for. How you see the world and yourself is in your control. Value yourself as you really are. This is the month to take a really good look at yourself. You are, each and every one of you, a beautiful person. Pardon the way that I stare. There's nothing else to compare. The sight of you leaves me weak. There are no words left to speak. But if you feel like I feel, please let me know that it's real. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. Friends, take a good look at the mirror of self. Make the changes you have to make, and you'll become a different person. The storms are raging on the rolling sea, and on the highway of regrets. The winds of change are blowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet, or like yourself yet. Yes, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude. Light a candle. Make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free. Be free. Honor your freedom. Be well. Be happy. Be blessed. Share and honor the light, my friends, with all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone. And end to terror and hatred. Remember, we are a community. We learn together. We celebrate each other. We love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. Let us send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do. Learn to forgive. Learn to love, including and especially yourself. Open your hearts and honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. Enjoy your journey. We take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now bless you all. Have a fantastic week. Week of love and light. Week of peace. A week of miracles. Examine your intentions and use them to imprint your will on the universe, because we set in motion all that happens in our lives. Our intention, our kavana, our cause, our effect, everything is mixed. As I've said, you always have the time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what is good and bad. So acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any other person you've wronged, and ask forgiveness. But do so with sincerity, accountability, and vulnerability. Forgive those who have hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate. Because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace, my friends, is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people, the world, just as they are? Can you accept life just as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land, your home. Keep on dreaming, keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always in front of you. And remember to have faith, an unwavering adherence to principle. Just as I have faith in the principle of love in all of you, act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none, cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year, and may you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. And work to be present in the body, my friends. Expand your heart, quiet your mind, because the deepest source of real power lies in consciousness and in your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. Make the most of your time in this life. Continue to touch and transform the lives around you. You're never alone. You are forever blessed and have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet. Health, love, renewal to everybody you come across. We are all energy, and energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Your words are your power to transform, to love, to bless. So be generous with them. Bless others, bless yourself. Love with the heart, because we're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger, and be there for someone. Someone will always be there for you whether you know it or not. Continue to explore faith and belief, and never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel, others have felt. Whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together. We learn together. We help each other. We are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support we all have or could have. That special someone in our lives. So find them. Tell them what they mean. And remember, you're never alone on your journey to your promised land. Watch your words, my friends. They can hurt you, they can heal you, they can imprison you, and they can free you. Open your eyes, and you will always be able to see things just a little bit differently. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. Gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Yes, it's going to be sunshiny, my friend. Take the time to open up to love and see the world around you. Now be happy, be helpful, be healthy, be kind and be loving, and use this month to heal and imprint your will on the blank canvas of life, and keep celebrating being free to be you. Have a great week. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Take care.